Go-to name. This is what I might go to.
Who wants to go first?
Well, I'll just babble on, and then you guys can ask any questions from that. So I looked at it from first off from the spring. It was a phase one. This was once our season was completed. I really wanted us to have 3 phases. Phase one was the spring workouts. I thought we did a great job there. We really focused on individual development, getting guys better, just a lot of little things. That was phase one. I look at the summer, we talked about it, was phase two, and what our point of emphasis in phase two was going to, we made it really, really hard for them, but we were doing 2-a-days for the 8 weeks that we were allowed. We would lift in the morning and then do basketball and agilities and conditioning in the afternoon. And so we pushed these guys hard. We wanted to make it a really, really hard summer for them, and which we did. And our focus was, a lot of it was guarding your yard. We spent a lot of time on trying to guard our yard and keeping guys in front of us and not getting straight line driven, to really spend time on that. And then when we come back from the fall, we have one more day tomorrow morning, and then we have a 2-week break, and we'll come back in the fall, and that will be phase 3, and that will be heavy conditioning with lots of lifting, and obviously, continue to build on the basketball part. So that's kind of where we're at. If the rule has changed that in the 8-hour access, in the 8-week access, you're now allowed to have 4 hours of basketball, not just 2. So out of the 8 hours, it was 2. Now they've changed the rule now up to 4.
Going away from what you did in the spring and the summer, and getting to the point where the players you have now, the NCAA is looking at making some changes to the evaluation period.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that?
Look, I mean, we'll obviously, we're going to support and be behind whatever comes out, and we'll do what we, whatever the rules may be. But I'm one for, I do like the current model in the sense of the summer recruiting, just on the part of you get to see a lot of prospects at once over a 3-week period with their teams, and are able to evaluate and really kind of get a good gauge on that, on guys. It sounds like from the outer skirts, just that there are going to make some changes. There's no question during the evaluation period, but it could be maybe a week on of non-scholastic events, and then a second week of events run by the NCAA. So if that's the case, we'll make do. We'll have to do a great job of evaluating and continue to find kids. And so I think there will be some things coming out in August, from what I understand, some point in August, where some of the recommendations from the working group will then be implemented and go into effect. I guess at that point, that's from my understanding.
Can you talk a little bit about kind of who's caught your eye this summer? Anyone that's kind of done anything developmentally or physically to kind of impress you?
Yeah, I've been really impressed. First of all, the 3 freshmen, of their working habits. They've got great habits. They've had a great summer, and all 3's got to obviously get stronger and all those things that go with freshmen. But they've come in with the right mindset, which has been a good thing. And so that's been a really good deal to see that. And then I've been really pleased because Curtis Haywood, the first day he was cleared was in the first day we had the 8 weeks access. In those first 2 days, he was not good. He was not good whatsoever. And I remember telling our staff, I was like, man, I mean, he looked slow, he just looked like a bad player. And I say this to say that we were in a staff meeting, but I also knew that he hadn't done anything for over 6 months. I mean, because he wasn't allowed any activity. And so Kurt, towards the end of the summer, he's been really good. And the way he shot the ball and defensively, so I've been really excited about that. I think he's any guy that's gone from where he started after coming off of the injury 6 months, where he was a bad player after the injury, and part of it's because he hadn't done anything, to where he is now that he's getting his conditioning back, and he's getting his shot and rhythm back. He's really looking at a high level, and I'm really excited about that for him.
Josh, each player we talked to knows to a man. You lost a lot of offense, you lost a lot of leadership. But it seems like each one of them is embracing that, and they're kind of pulling together in that regard.
Yeah, look, first off, losing Josh Okogie's, it's a great thing for the program. It's tremendous for recruiting. It's tremendous for Josh. It's a great story. I mean, to be the 20th pick in the draft in the first round, I mean, that's nearly impossible to be a top 20 pick. I mean, we all know how hard that is to do. So for him to do that, it's tremendous, and it's great for our recruiting and everything that you can imagine. It hurts us for next season, for the immediate future, because you're losing him, where you weren't planning on losing him based on where he was coming in as a freshman. I mean, you knew maybe after his junior year, but so that being said, other guys are going to have to step up, and what we lose with him leaving is the scoring thing. It's scoring, and so other guys are going to have to find the ways to get it done. And I've said this, for us to be successful, we're going to have to be a great unit defensively. Like, we got to get back to who we were the first year. Now, we were a good defensive team last year, but the first year we were an elite defensive team. We got to get back to being an elite defensive team. And then secondly, offensively, we got to really take care of the basketball. We got to do a great job. We have to take care of the basketball, the best we've done in our 3 years. And then third, we got to shoot at a high clip. The last 2 years we have not been a good three-point shooting team, so we've got to be at a high-level three-point shooting team this year. So, I really, nothing has changed in our progression and our vision, because I still look at it. I mean, I'm excited for this season, and we're going to be young, and guys got a lot of experience last year. But if you really look at it, that year 4 of, if I call the process of what we're trying to get to, and then year 5. You're really old. You're starting to get old and stay old. So this is sort of a bridge year, but I'm excited because a lot of guys will have opportunities to play, to keep building on what they've, kind of where they've been at this point.
Are the three guys that are coming back from injuries, Jose, Kurt, and of course Shambari to an extent, are they going to be 3 of the keys to how this season
Oh yeah,
goes?
well Shambari's going to have to be really good for us. Look, Shambari was awesome during the scout team last year, but Shambari, during the scout team, there's no pressure on you. Now he was injured this year earlier with a wrist injury, but he's back cleared. But we're going to really count on Shambari to be good for us. I've mentioned Kurt, who's been really good since obviously since coming back from the injury. I'll tell you who else has played really well has been Brandon. Brandon Austin has done a nice job this summer as well, and he's worked like crazy in the gym. And who was the other guy?
Jose.
Jose's cleared. He's been good. No issues there. All those guys are going to have to be really good for us.
Is it reasonable for us to assume that the pace is going to pick up a little bit this year?
Yeah, I mean,
without the ball going through the post as much as it
well, part of it is, we'll still play maybe through the post, but we had to wait for Ben. And I don't say that in a negative way. It's just that's what it was. I mean, it was interesting. I had a high-level pro team overseas call me about Ben, and they said, we're concerned if we should take Ben. And I says, they really like Ben. They had all these great things about him, but they were real concerned if they should take Ben because they were concerned about his attitude. I'm like, this kid is an unbelievable. They go, well, I don't think the coach told me, well, he's not going to play all the minutes. He'll play only like 20 some odd minutes. He was playing 40 minutes for you. How is he going to handle that? Is he going to have a bad attitude about it? I says, no. I said, it would have been better if he played 20 some odd minutes. I said, he'll actually enjoy it better. I said, he'll play faster. And so I say all that to tell you that, look, he played 40 minutes a game. He probably should have played less, but we didn't have the option to, and I wasn't going to do that, and so I was all in on him on that. And so he paced himself a little bit, and he wasn't a flyer running up and down the court, so we had to wait for him. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. That's what we had to do. And that'll be different this year. We won't have to wait. And look, Todrick we waited at times for as well too, but it's mostly because we played through Ben. We had to wait for him. So our pace wasn't where we needed to be at. And I've said this is probably in my 3rd year here, this is our most athletic team. Now we're going to miss Ben in a lot of areas, especially on the defensive end, and he can shoot that mid-range jumper, but one of the things will be faster pace-wise, just because of the situation.
Sounds like it's just kind of more of the offense.